Yeah, we're going to talk about score study. First thing I would say is to look at the title, which is the most obvious thing, right? Eternal Father, Strong to Save. And if you know that is the name of the Navy hymn, you've got a good shot at understanding this music first. So you have to know that. Then obviously the composer, Claude T. Smith. Lots of information about him online. There are lots of recordings on YouTube about him. And I want to say too that it's really important in studying a score that you look at more than one or two or three or a dozen pieces by the same composer. So you get a sense of their sound, their style. So that individual piece you're looking at is not a foreign object. It goes into a body of work, and even though it's an individual piece, you have a sense of the whole of it and really how it fits into the composer's voice. So the next thing, obviously, you look at is the instrumentation down the score. This is a condensed score, a C score, piano score. So I don't have individual instrumentation here, but this piece is very standard, as was all the music he wrote. And the composers who were writing in this era did the same thing. They wrote for your basic concert band instrumentation. We start to look at the form of it, and that's the first thing. And I have a kind of a unique way to do this, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, that you take this music and you sort of take a picture of it with your eyes, sort of a photograph of the page without looking specifically at it, and look for material that changes and starts to look different, and immediately you get to a double bar, you get to places like that, you see things that are reoccurring, then you get to a double bar and you see new material. Well, obviously that is a new section of the music. It's extremely important, I can't emphasize this enough, to know the form when you're studying a score first, because you have to have a context to put it in. You have to be able to say, okay, this is this first section of the music, and here's its content, and here's what it is about, here's the character of it, here's the second section of the music, here's the third section of the music, started looking for relationships, etc. But you can't do that if you just start randomly thumbing through it. You've got to have a context for it. And it's like an author writes a book into chapters. And this chapter deals with maybe this part of the story, so that you have an organization. It's good for the author to be able to write from. It's good for the reader to be able to put things in context. So I think that's extremely important. So if we look at the first section of this, we should look at the whole form and say, okay, there's an introduction, which is of fanfare quality. And then there goes into a vivace section that goes up to 152 beats a minute. And it starts with an accompaniment, really fiery, energized accompaniment. And then the saxophone solo and flute solo come in, and they start playing a melodic subject that is based on the Navy hymn. Interesting about this piece, interesting thing about it is that it's all based on the Navy hymn, but you don't hear the Navy hymn until the very end. And I think that's a wonderful way to approach it. You hear the Navy hymn twice, once as a horn quartet. Once as a 2D full ensemble statement, and they're very well scored, very beautiful. And then you hear the opening fanfare played again, and he tacks a little very effective coda on it, and it ends. So that's sort of a cursory look at the beginning of it.